I don't know where he's going to fall because of all the stuff that's going on. You hear that his agent is not taking visits outside of the top 10. Who knows how that plays out for him? Not really my business. Now, Calijah Kancey's guys that are rising up the board. I'm going to tell you right now, when I was at the Senior Bowl when Aaron Donald was there. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, that guy's small. He looks pretty stout. And then I remember watching him literally toss everybody out the bar. Everybody one-on-ones. It was almost comical how impressive he was. So I don't think it's fair to compare Calijah Kancey to Aaron Donald. You can see some of the explosive stuff, but you're also going to see here a guy that, listen, when you draft a guy who's 6'1", 281 pounds, there's a guy named Ronald Darby that used to play with the Seahawks, played with the Buccaneers. Really, really good player, 6'1" player. They're underneath everything you're trying to block. Okay, 4.67 40 by the time, by the way, ridiculous. Okay, but these guys play underneath what you're trying to block. Now, there's some different ways you can combat that, but just off the ball, you can see the physical attributes that he has from a first step explosion standpoint. And even if you have the guy, he's usually going to, like, when you guys connect and butt up and get tall, because most of these offensive linemen are going to end up playing tall very quickly. His tall and your tall are way different. So after that initial contact, he's always going to be under better control. You can see when he's getting on these plays. Number 8 here over the right guard. And even when he's not blocked, he hustles to the ball. Or even when he's blocked, he hustles to the ball. Again, if you're trying to wall him off, anything you're trying to do against this guy, he's always going to have leverage on you. Now, here's the problem. As opposed to an Aaron Donald, okay, when he gets doubled, he doesn't do a good job of using his hands, attacking, trying to get skinny, or either attacking one of the guard or the tackle. And so now you're in a position, or a jump swim in the backside. He does do that at times, but you can get great push on a guy who's only 287 pounds. Okay, I don't care if he's 6'1", if he's 5'10", if he's 6'7". If you allow this to happen because you don't attack one or the other, now you become a little bit of a liability on defense. So this is something he's going to definitely have to work on. Too easy to push him off, get to the second level. It's not the push that's a big deal here. It's the fact that they push him and can easily get to the linebacker. Now, this is what you do like to see, and we'll rewind this one, I believe. So he gets that double, but now he's attacking. You can see that he's got 67 inside hands, right? He's got inside hands on the right guard. So what happens is when the center comes over and tries to push, now he can reload on his leverage, win out, and now he gets in on the tackle. And this is, even though he doesn't finish it here, he makes the play. This is the difference. If you can attack and win with hands, then the double team all of a sudden becomes a moot point. Okay, if you don't win with hands, you've got a real problem because you are only 285 pounds and you got 600 pounds of force coming at you downhill. We talk about it. When you try to wall this guy off, he's always going to be able to go underneath. There's going to be a lot of time that he's on the ground, all right, because he's going to have to fight underneath a lot of this stuff. This is just a down blocker. He's not supposed to win this. He could drive underneath the guy. He could try to drive through the guy's pads. He can try to rip underneath. I'm just showing you what the opportunities are because he can get with leverage. Even if you down block on this guy, he's not going to stay there forever. Now, this is what we're talking about from the right over the left guard. Just absolutely. He gets separation. I mean, it's almost tough to see. He does a quick two-step swipe, and he's upfield. The guard hasn't even gotten into a second step yet. He hasn't even brought his drag foot. Okay. And now that's probably part of the guard's fault. But you're saying even at the NFL level, you see a lot of guards getting in a position where their feet are too wide. And this guy has to open up now and is going to give. He's either going to have to hold because Calijah's just way too close to his body. Or he's just going to have to open up and try to push him by, which is impossible because he's already at his hip. Okay, so that quickness, that outside move right there is lethal, and that translates. That's why he's probably going up people's draft board. You see he switches to his right foot stance, his ability to get outside and up here. Just, again, I don't care if he makes the play here or not. I'm just showing you, like, this kid can really move. 4.6740. He can move at a high level. Now, This is another thing, and this is kind of an Aaron Donald-like idea. If you know right now, I look at that left tackle and I know that left tackle is coming down because of where he's got his weight in his stance. If he's reading that and he sees it as well, which it looks like he does these next two plays, easily pushes outside. Okay, can get upfield quickly. He's got those kind of quicks. We'll see one more here. See where the tackle's head's at. Comes outside again, beats him badly this time. And these are NFL ready. These are game day ready moves. Those will work in the National Football League tomorrow. Now, this is where is a little bit, this is where you go, okay, if you want to be like your predecessor at Pitt, you got to get a little bit more lead in your pencil. You got to attack the edges a little more. You got to get into the person's body a little bit faster, okay? What happens with smaller guys is if I can keep you at arm's length on your first move, you're done because you just don't weigh enough. You can't generate enough force to move me. You have to get into my body now. You have to create an edge. You have to make me uncomfortable now. You have to get me off my rhythm now. You have to get my hips turned now. If you don't, if you just stand up and dance with me, do any of this, it's over. The game's over because you just don't weigh enough. Over the left guard now, same idea. He should never, in my opinion, should never get locked up with his first step. He should never get locked up in college. Nobody should ever be in this position. No one should ever win inside hands because you have too many weapons. First step, turn your shoulders. Should never get two hands inside on your chest. This is something he's going to have to work with. This is just a reps thing. This is not indicative of whether or not he's going to be successful. We've seen the traits that are going to make him successful. If he's a hard worker, if he's got a good coach, he's going to be able to get rid of this issue quickly. But this issue right here, if he got in front of anybody in the NFL worth their salt, he's going to get two hands in his chest, put handlebar. You might as well put handlebars on your pads because they're just going to hold on. See the chop. I just like that he does the chop club and go right back inside on the tackle, man. That's just a beast move. We see here, and this is how, when you're thinking about blocking a guy that's shifty but small, this is what the offensive line talks about. Okay, it's like, okay, if we're going to commit to a run game, pass game, I want the first guy to force him inside to the center like this, because the center should be able, at this point, once he has to deal with wiping away the guard, ripping away the guard, stepping inside of the guard, shimmying the guard. Now it's like I get a bear hug you, whatever you want to call it, hold, whatever. As a center, I'm 315, you're 285. Like you have a real problem now because I'm 30. I got 30 pounds on you in a small space. You can't use your hands. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff that you expect him to win on. Excuse me. This is the kind of stuff that the offensive line expects to have success with. Same thing here. The center is just being patient. He knows he has inside help with his. He knows the right guard's coming to help. He can be patient here. And once he does that, he gets him to turn sideways. Like, game's over, right? So these are the kind of, he's just out of the play, huge hole.